pleasant end of the work week, but a cold front moves through tonight. That means colder temperatures tomorrow morning. Then a gradual warming trend sets in. We're headed to the 60s. I've got your full forecast coming up.
The abduction of Nancy Guthrie is prompting local groups to send a message to families with aging loved ones.
A lot of seniors can feel isolated and alone.
The resources in our area to support you and your relatives as they grow older. 1 week after a deadly shooting took the life of an innocent rideshare driver, we're hearing from concerned neighbors.
The police, their patrol, they do their little one-night patrol, and then you don't see them no more.
The growing calls for change and what Ferguson leaders are promising. A St. Louis County mother shot in the face survives against all odds.
Protecting victims of domestic violence is a part of public safety.
How her story is driving Missouri lawmakers to crack down on repeat domestic violence offenders.
5 on your side, breaking news now.
We're following breaking news out of North St. Louis County. Barely 2 hours ago, we learned 2 women had been shot. Police tell us this happened in the 10,000 block of Olney Drive. We don't know their conditions or what led to the shooting. Police do have 1 suspect in custody. Once we learn more, we will pass that along to you. Also developing tonight, a University City woman who disappeared from Olympic National Park months ago has been found dead. April Buglia says on November 6th, her 26-year-old daughter, Alicia Buglia, left Lambert St. Louis International Airport and flew to Port Angeles, Washington to visit Olympic National Park for a vacation. Her mother did not hear from her daughter for weeks and reported her missing. Hours ago, National Park officials confirmed today. Search and rescue teams found the missing woman's body along a trail in the park. Buglia's mother also confirms this for 5 on your side. We'll continue to follow both of these developing stories on KSDK.com and on our free streaming app. Thanks so much for joining us at 10. I'm Kelly Jackson. Let's get back to our top story. A St. Louis County woman is fighting to survive after a betrayal nearly cost her everything. Tonight, we hear from Heather Siorik for the first time as Missouri lawmakers push for a domestic violence offender registry designed to keep others from the same fate. Melanie Johnson has this 5 on your side exclusive.
A shotgun blast to the face.
It's evil and reprehensible. It's horrible.
Santino Fuentes says evil tried to silence Heather Siorik, but her fight to live proved to be stronger.
She said she was holding her face together and was trying to scream for him to dial 911, call 911. And he said nope. And he walked out of the house and smoked a cigarette.
Anthony Chanuth has been charged with shooting Heather in the face with a shotgun. He is no stranger to law enforcement. According to court documents, prior arrests include rape, assault, resisting arrest, and DUI.
I hope he rots in jail. I hope he never gets out.
Heather's story fueling a push in Jefferson City from State Representative Rachel Prouty.
We absolutely owed her and her family better than what she received in this case.
Bill 2323 calls for a domestic violence registry for a, quote, high-risk offender with, quote, 2 or more prior convictions for a domestic abuse offense.
This is for persistent offenders. So it's not a one time in the way it would likely be if you were to register on the sex offender registry. We need to get something on the books, but just not doing anything is just unacceptable.
Journey Against Domestic and Sexual Abuse CEO Dr. Cynthia Bennett championing the bill since day one.
We are always going to be that voice for Heather and so many others that's like her, that we are going to let them know that we will not stand by and tolerate this any longer.
Heather's voice may be silent, but her pen is powerful. From the ICU, Heather sharing this message with 5 on your side. Emergency SOS lets a person call 911 with just a button press, without needing to unlock the phone or dial. A simple safety measure that gives someone an immediate way to reach help.
I know she's a fighter. If anyone's going to survive that type of injury, it'd be her.
Melanie Johnson, 5 on your side.
Heather underwent a 12-hour surgery today on her missing jaw. A GoFundMe has been set up to support her long road to recovery. You can find it under this story on KSDK.com. And there is a 24/7 helpline for victims of domestic violence. The number 800-799-SAFE. You can also text the word START, that's START, to 88788. Tonight, Creve Coeur police are asking for your help identifying the two men you see on your screen. Police say one of them pulled out a pistol and pointed it at two teenagers after some type of disturbance broke out between two groups. The incident happened last Saturday at the B&B Theaters. Investigators say the men left the scene as on-site security responded. No one was injured. If you recognize either men, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. You can remain anonymous. The number 866-371-TIPS. Tonight we are learning more about a disturbance during a funeral at a Ferguson church. St. Louis County Police say it happened at Greater Grace Church. An officer working security called for an ambulance when a small altercation broke out, prompting a request for backup. Officers from both St. Louis County and Ferguson responded and cleared out the church. No injuries were reported, but one person with an outstanding warrant was arrested after trying to re-enter the building. Following the incident, the church's pastor, Bishop L.O. Jones, released a statement saying the church will no longer host funeral services out of an abundance of caution. A week ago today, an innocent rideshare driver was shot and killed when gunshots rang out in a Ferguson apartment community. And tonight, there are still no arrests in the murder of Shannon O'Brien. New at 10, neighbors are sharing their growing safety concerns. With 5 on your sides, Robert Townsend.
In broad daylight last Friday,
Right here in the parking lot.
neighbors tell 5 on your side a hail of gunfire ripped across Park North St. Louis apartments near Windward Court and Canfield in Ferguson.
I heard like 25 to 30 gunshots. It's insane.
It sounded like a war.
Police say 28-year-old rideshare driver Shannon O'Brien of St. Louis was not the intended target. She died. Witnesses told police O'Brien got caught in an apparent shootout after 3 guys got out of her car and exchanged gunfire with several men. Bullets also hit several neighbors' parked cars.
I just feel so bad because she was an innocent woman.
Some neighbors say O'Brien's tragic death is just the latest gun violence that's happened at the North County apartment community. This concerned mom asked us to not show her face.
How often do you hear gunshots?
Every night. Almost every night. And it's ridiculous. And we got babies in the house.
A spokesperson for Ferguson Police Department says last year, Chief Troy Doyle met with the manager of Park North Apartments. As a result, the police department stepped up its directed patrols, which allows officers to sweep through this apartment community. But tenants say the violence hasn't stopped.
And it's like the police, they're patrol. They do their little one-night patrol, and then you don't see them no more.
I reached out to Park North's apartment manager for reaction, but I never heard from anyone before the office closed at 4 on Friday. Meantime, Ferguson's mayor is weighing in on all of this. In a statement, Mayor Ella Jones said in part, quote, "We will continue to take proactive, collaborative steps to address concerns and protect our community. This worried mom has had enough."
Yes, I'm moving any day.
Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
Nearly 2 years after her disappearance, the family of a Washington County, Illinois woman is offering a $15,000 reward for any information that could lead them to their daughter. 38-year-old Brittany Moser was last seen in Claremont, Illinois. That's a small community near the Washington, St. Clair, and Randolph County lines. Moser's mother says her daughter left a note saying she was going for a walk but never came back. Tonight, anyone with information is asked to call the Washington County Sheriff's Office. That number, 618-327-4800. And tonight, the search for Nancy Guthrie is intensifying. She is the mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie and has been missing for 6 days. Hours ago, the FBI confirmed they are analyzing a new message they received related to her abduction. It comes as new billboards are being put up in 3 states asking for information. The Guthrie family also released a new video message pleading for whoever took their mother to contact them. And as the Guthrie family pleads for answers, many here at home are looking for ways to better protect their own aging loved ones. 5 on your side's Brent Solomon here in studio with more from a local agency serving thousands of families. Brent?
Well, Kelly, with no suspects identified 6 days into Nancy Guthrie's disappearance, a lot of people are left wondering, how can we keep our seniors that we love safe and connected? There are resources available right here in St. Louis. And I'd like to point out, though, none of the information you're about to see is directly connected to the Guthrie case.
It's a story that has the nation
nation on edge. 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie still missing, no named suspects in her abduction. Closer to home, experts say the best defense for our loved one's safety is having a strong offense.
There are multiple ways actually seniors can be safe.
One of those ways is through SLAY, the St. Louis Area Agency on Aging. They deliver food to roughly 2,000 people a week through Meals on Wheels. Spokesperson Ryan Sheehan tells me the program is about much more than a tray of food.
Half of that is for the food, but the other half is actually wellness checks on the individual themselves.
Isolation is a major risk factor. When the city was hit with snow late last month, SLAY staff hit the phones, calling over 5,000 people in their functional needs registry. We can all play a part in that safety net.
And we're reminding people you should check in on your loved ones during this time, even your neighbor. You'll knock on his or her door and see if they need help.
For those who are mobile, the city offers 9 senior centers. They aren't residential facilities, they're hubs for community and education, including how to avoid those who might prey on the elderly.
We teach them on ways to spot scams and to avoid it.
If it's someone who doesn't have your best interest at heart, you could become a victim.
Yes, actually. So, and that kind of speaks on connection too. So if you don't have a connection and then someone calls you up and you're a nice ear, they can take advantage of you.
Beyond connection, experts suggest practical steps like home security alarms that can be activated even while you're inside the house.
It's kind of a age-old story of taking the time to appreciate your loved ones.
If you or a loved one needs help with Medicare, housing, or just wants to join a senior center, you can call the toll-free number right there, 1-877-612-5918. It is a one-stop shop to ensure no senior in our area feels isolated or unsafe.
Tonight, President Trump is responding to bipartisan backlash over a video posted to his social media account. The first part of the video contained false claims of voting machine fraud and ended with a racist depiction of former President Barack Obama and former First Lady Michelle Obama. The AI-generated video showed the Obamas' faces on the bodies of apes. While speaking with reporters on Air Force One today, the president said he did not see the final portion of the video.
No, I didn't make a mistake. I mean, I look at a lot of thousands of things, and I looked at the beginning of it. It was fine. It was a very strong post in terms of voter fraud. Nobody knew that was at the end. If they would have looked, they would have seen it, and probably they would have had the sense to take it down.
Tonight, the White House says the staffer posted the video in error. The incident is drawing strong backlash from both Democrats and many Republicans, including Tim Scott, who is the only African-American Republican in the Senate. Buy now, pay later, a convenient way to shop, but is it quietly affecting your credit score? We verify what you need to know before your next purchase.
We warmed up this afternoon, but colder air is on its way. But the good news is it won't last very long. I've got your full forecast on when the 60s return to the region. That's coming up.
The Competition Desk is sponsored by Schnucks.
There's arguably no bigger star on Team USA than 41-year-old Lindsey Vonn. When she announced she had torn her ACL just a few days away from the game, fans were heartbroken, but not Vonn. She assured us all no injury is going to stop her from skiing in her 5th stint at the Olympic Games. Vonn finished her official Olympic training run with no issues exactly a week after rupturing her ACL. The Midwestern native finished 11th out of 43 skiers who finished the trial. She's medaled in 2 Olympic Games, including the gold medal in 2010 for alpine skiing. Vonn, a true outlier, she'll be competing tomorrow morning. St. Louis basketball is off to its best start in program history, 22-1, a 16-game winning streak. From Avila to Green, there's a lot to love about this team. They're one of the most efficient offenses in the country and the top team in college basketball when it comes to defending shots. Tomorrow, the Bills are hosting LaSalle, a team that they beat earlier in January. In that contest, center Robbie Avila scored a game-high 21 points, dished out 4 assists as well. Avila was sick earlier this week, but is back at full strength, along with the rest of the team. LaSalle struggled to contain him, Amari McCautry, in the last game, and big man Paul Otino. The 6'9" senior says this team's like the Energizer Bunny. They just keep on going.
I would just say it's the energy of the team. Like when you're up, we're down. We stay at the moment. Like that's the biggest thing for us. Being in the moment, being in the right time, making big plays, next man up every time. If you're in foul trouble, you got something on the bench, you're gonna pick him up.
Our team is really deep and full of talent. So any person can ignite a run, and it really starts with our defense, though, like you just said. So string together a couple stops. We know we have offensive talent. So one of those runs that you're talking about is I think it's inevitable.
Friday's a big night for high school hoops here in the Lou. Tonight could be no different. Our game of the night featuring Chaminade and Vianney. Let's get down to the action in the home of the Red Devils. Vianney came ready. Ben Karsten going to take off here in transition. The bucket awaits. Rim grazing dunk. I'm giving the senior that one. Game tied early on. Chaminade began to take over. Oscar Kuzman, addition to Mohamed Karama. Sophomore knocking down the triple. And the Red Devils, they'd be nice and comfortable staying in three-point land. Elijah Poniwaz finding Johnny Jordan Jr. the deep triple. But moments later, more of the same, just a different order this time. Jordan Jr. to Poniwaz. He knocks it down. Chaminade ends up running away with this one by 20 plus, arguably their best game of the year. One last thing tonight, the Cardinals have filled their 40-man roster by claiming Brian Ramos from waivers. The former White Sox was traded to Baltimore before he was cut, and now the Cardinals have made the move to add the 23-year-old. The infield was already crowded position player-wise. Ramos should keep things interesting. And crazy enough, Kelly, spring training just 6 days away for pitchers and catchers to report.
That's hard to believe when we have snow on the ground still here.
I know. Well, not so much in Florida.
Right, exactly. All right. Thank you, Zach. We'll be right back.
All right, tomorrow, not so much perhaps, but next week, Monday and Tuesday, those are the days you want to be outside, enjoy them with the nice warm temperature. Spring-like preview, I promise it will not last. So enjoy while we got it.
Well, the rain can also, get all that salt and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And we're still in a drought, too, right?
We are.
Okay.
So we'll take the rain, too.
Yes. All right. Thanks so much for joining us at 10. We are always streaming on your phone and smart TV. Start your day today in St. Louis. That begins at 5 a.m. Have a great tomorrow.